You guys, I have a special treat today. This is the Subvert. The Spyderco Subvert is a knife that I've wanted to check out for some time, and when it came out, I couldn't believe my eyes. It looked like the most massive knife that I'd ever seen, and it did not disappoint when it arrived. I wish that I had taken the time to film a proper video of my K2 when I had it. I dearly loved the K2, but I sold it, traded it to a friend actually, and now it's gone forever, but in its wake is the second most ridiculous Spyderco I've ever held, and that is this one, the Subvert. So, just did a little quick reading about it. I really didn't know much about the maker. I saw the maker's mark on the side here when I pulled it out of the package. Didn't know what it meant. And according to the Spyderco website, the knife was designed by an Israeli goldsmith. His name is Nadi Amor. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But I think I understand the overall gist of this knife. You only have to hold it for a few minutes to really understand it. And the first thing about this knife that's just unbelievable is the size of the blade. So my friend Jake at Bearded Gear, you can find Jake here on YouTube under Bearded Gear. He has named this knife the Danger Banana. And I can't think of a funnier or more appropriate name for this knife because it is awfully banana-esque, isn't it? I've been calling it a safety banana, just sort of a play on that because of the ridiculously orange that it has. So, first of all, it does look like a banana. Second of all, the knife is surprisingly balanced given the size of the thing. And when you hold it and you imagine yourself cutting things with it, the first thing that comes to my mind is this tremendous swoop in the blade. It's called a recurve. The recurve with the amount of material at the end of the blade is really incredible. And if you were cutting through large, maybe stalks of vegetation, or if you're cutting through, I don't know, all sorts of things. Maybe a fishing rope, maybe a net. I can imagine myself being on a boat and I'm trying to cut through some netting. This knife would be wonderful for that because of the recurve blade and because of the extra weight on the end of the blade. You're really going to get a lot of inertia as you cut things. Also, the handle is crazy. From what I can tell, these liners could be functional as a knife in and of themselves. They don't need the scales at all. The scales are purely cosmetic. And a part of me is wondering what the knife would look like if I were to take the scales off of it. Would it look a little bit more like maybe a Spidey Chef? Would it look more like the K2? I don't know. The backspacer's nice. I like that it's complementing the color of the scales. I think it would be really cool to play this up and maybe change it out a little bit. Go with a nice blue would be great, or a carbon fiber backspacer. I know just the guy for that. Shockingly, this knife is extremely easy to open and close. Even left-handed, I'm wrong-handed, and this knife opens and closes like a breeze. It almost flies open because of that weight on the end of the blade. Really no trouble at all opening and closing this knife. The lock feels incredible. Really an excellent knife. S30V steel. The more I collect knives, the more I appreciate S30V. It really, really is a great steel. This steel has been around since 2001, and we overlook it because it's used all the time. It's become ubiquitous in knives. But the reality is that S30V is fantastic. It does retain an edge very well. It is rather easy to sharpen, and it's pretty tough. D2 steel is commonly recommended as a tough steel. People will talk about D2, but S30V is actually tougher than D2. If you go to Crucible's website and you look at the data from the manufacturer, they will tell you that S30V is tougher. So if you want a relatively tough steel that's very easy to find, everybody knows how to work with it, S30V is a fantastic choice. So I certainly don't hold this knife and wish it was something else. It would be cool if it was M4. It'd be cool if it was S90V. It would be cool if it was K390. But it doesn't need to be. This knife is very usable as it is. Retail price on this knife, manufacturer's suggested retail price is $470. I believe these sell at dealers for just under $300. No, I'm sorry. I believe they're $329. So this is a very expensive knife in the grand scheme of Spyderco. There aren't a lot of knives that they make that are more expensive than this one. That being said, it really is an impressive knife. It feels good in the hand. The action of the pivot is incredible. This might be one of the smoothest big knives I've ever held from Spyderco. When I didn't see a stainless steel lock bar insert, I was a little worried about the action of the knife and would the lock be sticky. I've had multiple Tai Chung knives where the frame lock just doesn't disengage very easily. That was a big complaint of mine on the K2. It would really take two hands to disengage the knife. You needed one hand to secure the knife and then another hand to force the frame lock loose. So not exactly the experience that you want from a Spyderco, is it? Deployment is really key and king in their world, and so having a knife that doesn't do that well is really a bummer. But I really can't recommend this knife enough. I'm very happy to have it. It amuses me to no end the way that it works. It is rather heavy. It's a pretty beefy knife. So if you like a lightweight knife, this is not the knife for you. If you like a delicate blade, this ain't for you. If you want a chopper, this is a chopper. It's going to be easy to hold on to. I do recommend that you have big hands. If you have large hands and you really don't like some of the knives in the market and feel that they don't represent well, like maybe if you've ever held a Rubicon, you know that the Rubicon is a knife that's really not designed for big hands. This knife feels fantastic in the hand. So anybody who likes a military but maybe wished for something a little more curvy to it, this is a great option, and really a testament to the Tai Chung quality and their ability to make a fantastic knife. There are many upgrade options available out there for this knife already. Eric Shepard of Shepard Custom Creations makes scales for the Subvert, and he's probably somebody I'm going to look up when I get to it. Right now I'm not sick of the orange. I love the orange. I think it looks really cool. Goes with my little tag here. So far this knife it's nothing but smiles for me playing with this knife, fiddling with it. When I showed it to my wife, who normally is neither here nor there about the knives that I'm carrying, when I showed it to her, she actually laughed out loud, and she was like, wow, that is a danger banana. So if I could get a reaction out of her, that tells me that this is more than just a regular knife. So I encourage you to go find one, seek one out, hold it, check it out. Go to your local dealer if they have them. See if you can see one at a knife show, but definitely check this out. This is a very fun knife. As I use it and carry it, I'll get back with you with some updates. But for now, I just arrived the other day and I couldn't be happier. So if you'd like to continue the conversation, if you want to hear more about knives, if you want to be a part of our club, we'd love to have you. We're the Millie Paramilitary 2 Para 3 Club. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. We just eclipsed 5,000 members on Facebook, so we're having a big celebration over there. But we'd love to have you as part of the group. So thanks for watching.